this was quite a late one we wrote, wasn't it?
Mm.
And we kind of wanted to do something that started off very sparse and then built to a real crescendo.
Yes, yeah.
And it was almost like this sort of just rising song that rose and rose and rose sort of thing. I think sonically it's really good, isn't it? It's your favourite mix on the record.
Yeah, I think a lot of the songs, in order to communicate, because we hadn't picked a producer yet when we started writing these things, I had to kind of do quite complicated demos, because you can't really, unless you work out a complicated demo as one, you can't really communicate what it's about. So, but I did that with everything apart from Tides. We just kind of left it quite undercooked, and that was the one that grew, I think, the most when we actually began recording it. So it's kind of like, there's a bit of an outlier on the record, but it's kind of exactly the kind of thing that Alan would do well, I think we thought. It's like these big, booming, bottom end, huge drums that we recorded Simon playing. And so it was the one that surprised us the most, I think. We kind of knew what everything else was going to sound like, but Tides kind of got bigger than I thought.
Yeah, each time you think, oh, it's just reached the peak, and it just widens it, doesn't it, with every kind of, with every part. I think it's the kind of thing that, until recently, wouldn't have made it to the record. I think we would have thought, oh, it doesn't really go anywhere, it doesn't fit the kind of Suede storytelling thing.
Exactly.
We
we'd have listened to it at the demo stage and gone, that's not really...
Nothing really happens.
Yeah.
I love it though.
Yeah,
one of those ones that I kind of, it gets better.
Yeah, that's the thing, and I think it might inform future things, because you kind of like, you don't have to kind of overcook demos, and you don't have to kind of overwrite in a way. You can let things, that's just for us to think about, but it's quite an interesting... Everything else on the record has kind of like been written to within an inch of its life, and that one we kind of went, oh, yeah, we'll let that kind of take shape in the studio, and it's really...
It's not chorus based, is it? That's the interesting thing about it. It's almost like it's like an A-B song, isn't it? It's like She or something like that, or Film Star, whereas it's not a big chorus, and normally Suede do a big chorus.
Or
and it's sort of,
Still Life.
Or Still Life, exactly. Still Life is actually more of a blueprint for it, because it kind of goes to it goes up an octave at the end, and that's the crescendo.
Yes.
Sort of thing.
I always had faith that, especially when we chose Alan as a producer, that we would get something great out of him in the studio. And also, it's one of those songs that demonstrated, I suppose, the limitations of home demoing. You can only take it to a certain stage before it was. And I was always thinking, well, give me a proper studio and a proper producer, and I'll be able to sort of
Richard.
You know what I mean.
Get rid of this clown.
I'll know what to do with this. I always kind of felt once we're in the studio, we'll turn it into something amazing, and I think we did. And the mix is incredible.